So this is an Aquos SHV42, and this person lost their SIM card tray, as you see right there. I looked for it on our market and couldn't find it, but then I needed to show you how I went about this and the thought process that led me to a solution. Now, if you have been in Africa, you might have noticed that at times we use a lot of feature phones, and those feature phones tend to use much bigger SIM card trays, like the way you would see this. So naturally, if you had a mini SIM like this, a micro SIM like this, what you would basically do is to simply sort of position it right there such that it can be read like that, and it always works. Now the same logic is what I wanted to do with this phone of ours, for it to be able to hold a SIM card inside even without a SIM card tray. So this is what I decided to do. The idea is to figure out what is usually the orientation that this SIM card enters inside. Does it go in that direction with this notch first, or does it go in like that? But if you held most of these phones that have SIM card tray, this is usually the orientation. So anyway, I had another Aquos that precedes this one, and that is the SH40. This one, very different. Now this one happens to have its SIM card tray inside, so I decided to remove it and look at it to just be able to get the orientation. So when you look at it, the orientation is like that. This SIM card goes in that direction, so I naturally assumed that's how this should go. But when I try to use this SIM card tray, it doesn't go any further, meaning I cannot use it. So what did I do? I need to put in the SIM card in a manner that I can remove it. So what I did was I decided to get my SIM card. For the sake of being able to pull it up, I got a piece of thread. This is actually thread right here, sewing thread. So I decided, you know what, since on the SIM card only those terminals make contact with the reading thing, I figured I would tie this along such that I am able to actually pull this SIM card out should I need, but also be able to sort of push it in to plug in. Now this is what I did, right? So this means when I push it inside like this, I should be able to pull it out. Now for me to push it inside, I am using the back of my surgical blade to push this inside right there. So I noticed when I pushed it inside like that, still we don't have any network being read right there. I do not really see anything right there. But when you look at it carefully, you will notice that okay, you don't see anything right there. Fortunately, I cannot see my screen. Let me wake it up and zoom in and see if so you see that there's no SIM card tray. Okay, let me just open this up to help you see that, and go home. So at the top you don't see anything really. At the top right there you don't see the network icon. So I decided to pull it out because I felt, okay, perhaps it has gone in a long way, because when you actually look at a SIM card tray, there's that thickness right here that doesn't hit the wall. So I was like, okay, let me pull it out a bit, like 1.5 millimeters, but still it did detect. And when I pull it to that position, when I pull it backwards, it tells me SIM card has been removed, meaning that this thing sort of has to make contact the other side for it to detect that the SIM card tray has been inserted, and then it decides to read the SIM card. So for some reason, for this phone, unlike the button phone whereby if you've positioned it well, it should be able to read automatically, this one, even if the SIM card is in a position where it should be read, we can pull out our SIM card, it should be read, it is not read because the trigger that triggers the SIM card tray to be detected so that the SIM card is processed isn't. So what did I do about that? I had old SIM cards of this, so I decided, okay, that jacket could provide me extra length without necessarily extra length for it to push the SIM card detection pin or switch, but also keeping the SIM card away from the extreme end so that it is a position where the terminals can be read. Now the problem I got was when I put this there, the tray could not go in because it is now much wider than this altogether. Because it is much wider, it can't enter. So the next thing was like, okay, I need to do two things. One, reduce the thickness of that segment so that its thickness is that much. Two, trim off that side so that this frame acts like a SIM card tray. So when I push it really far, this extended section makes contact with the switch that detects the SIM card tray, but also prevents the SIM card from going all the way in, but remain in a position where these terminals are read. So this is what I did. I've done it with this line. So what I did is I removed the SIM card tray, the SIM card jacket, applied super glue there, pushed it back right in like that until the super glue set. When it's set, I trimmed off that much thickness using a scissor, and then that red part off and this red part off, and then we got something like this. So now let me plug this in and show you that the result is perfect. Okay, so that thread is to allow us pull and push the SIM card tray. Now one thing I need to tell you is this SIM card tray, this thread passes here and that middle terminal is never touched, so I have no worry of the threads preventing electrical contact, but rather the SIM card connects by these 6 terminals, and so this is like that. Then the other thing we also did, we want the front to demonstrate the shape of the SIM card tip. If you know SIM card tray tip, now if you notice this side, the side is tapered off, it's trimmed off, so that's what I did to that and that. This, from around this point, that's the extended piece of material. So this thickness is just enough for this thing to enter inside. Now let's push it in like that, and then push it in further until we reach a dead end. Okay, we should be able to trigger the SIM card inserted notification. SIM card tray inserted notification. Okay, we pushed it in with our thread dangling out, and then right now I need to open it up. Okay, let me push it further. I think I've not yet reached the point where it gets red. Okay, and you can see a notification there of SIM card tray inserted and restarting. So it will restart and be able to detect our SIM card tray. Let me kill this light so that we are able to see the phone screen itself as it lights up sharp. And please do hit the subscribe button Unfortunately, this video had to be long because I needed to explain to you the entire process of getting around your SIM card tray getting lost, and you can't get the replacement, but somehow you need to use your phone with the SIM card, because now if you're in Africa, mobile data is usually accessed through SIM cards, not Wi-Fi, and that's something that you have to deal with. Or you could take this moment to hit the subscribe button, and feel free to share with a friend out there. Let them come and join us, and we shall be very glad to accommodate you. Now, okay, so let me put aside the things that I have been using for this video, because I have already explained to you what's happening, and let me put this where it belongs. Okay, now I need to open this for you. Just a moment. We need to see that it is reading the SIM card, and as such that you can go on offering this solution comfortably, knowing that it does indeed work. So that's a typical Docomo thing, where it tries to notify you how to deal with waterproofness. So it's common with Japanese phones that are waterproofed. They always give you that message. I don't know whether it's a tutorial. So now notice that we are getting the mini triangle, which now transforms into a mobile network. And let me just go into, okay, it says MTN Uganda. Yeah, so we have no SIM card tray, but our SIM card is able to now be read. Hit the subscribe button, share, and see you in the next video. Thank you.